Hello friends, and welcome again to my third yoga video. Let's start with feet at the top of the mat, standing in Tadasana pose, so arms can be along the length of the body, palms pointing forward, shoulder blades slide down along the back and in, and really stacking all of our joints over the top of each other. So really finding that stability in this pose. Soften the kneecaps, but you can certainly engage the quads and the upper thighs in this. Even lift up the toes and really feel, are you balancing on all corners of the feet as you settle into this pose? Chin can be slightly tucked so you find length on the back of the neck. Start to tune into that breath. Bring hands to heart center. Slight bow of the head. Start practice with an intention or send some love somewhere, maybe to someone in need, maybe to yourself, while we take this moment to really pause and connect with ourselves and create that space for ourselves. Maybe we can also send that positive energy to somebody else. Bring your arms back alongside your body. Together, we're going to exhale the breath that's in our lungs. Deep inhale, all the way to the top. Reach through the crown of the head. Exhale through the mouth. One more deep, deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Seal the lips, simple 4 count. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Stay with this steady 4 count breath. Bring the hands to the hips. If you can, with your eyes closed, shift the weight into the right leg. Lift the left knee towards your chest. Really finding that same length in your spine as in Tadasana. Let it be play if you lose your balance when you have your eyes closed. Also, really engage that right glute so that you can lift your left knee closer to your chest without compromising your lower back in any way. Really open up through the chest. Lower your knee to be parallel with your hip and then open 45-degree angle out to the left. Lift your knee, flex the foot. Find height in that knee through really engaging through that right butt. Lower back to center and then gently lower your foot. Shift the weight into the left leg, lift the knee in towards the chest. Using that left butt, really engage. Lift the knee up closer to the chest. If you lose your balance, come back in. Lower the knee level with the hip, open up 45 degrees, and lift your knee up. Hip points still pointing forward and keeping that rotation the same on that standing leg. So if it twisted out, you went too far. Back to center, drop the foot back to the ground. Inhale, arms up overhead. Forward fold Uttanasana to ragdoll. Hands can hook onto the elbows. Feet can be spread hips width apart. And just sway for a second here. Fingertips can also graze the ground. Keep a slight bend in the knees so that you're not compromising your lower back. Also at this point, if you want to pause and start the playlist, now is a perfect time to start from the very first song. And come back when you're ready. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hands rise up the shins, forward fold, and find your way to downward facing dog. We're going to stay here for several breaths so you can pedal through the feet, really finding an internal rotation with the thighs. So kind of the inner thighs roll in towards each other as you guide the heels towards the mat. Your feet don't have to be against the mat. We're just guiding them towards that. Really opening the inside of the elbows towards the front of the room. Pointing your tailbone towards the sky. I think a nice check for figuring out if your torso is in the right place is bending the knees towards your chest. And then when you re-lengthen your legs, you should feel that same length. Roll forward to plank. Roll back, kind of like a wave. Bend the knees back to downward facing dog. Roll forward all the way to plank. Exhale, roll back to downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog, roll back. Inhale, roll to plank. Lower the knees. Lower the chest, elbows cinch towards the side body, butt towards the air. Slide through, legs extend back. Root through the tops of the feet as you open up through your chest, baby cobra. Exhale, lower the forehead down. One more time, inhale, baby cobra, hands under the shoulders. Exhale, down, back to child's pose. This pose is always a place of rest. If things are uncomfortable or you need a break, this is always the place where you can go. Downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank, shoulders above the wrists. Stay here. Really find length from the heels all the way through the crown of the head, a nice straight line of energy. Spider the fingers so that you're distributing the weight evenly on your hands. Exhale, 5 count. Use the knees if you need to. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, baby cobra. Open up through the chest and the shoulders. Exhale, lower. Curl the toes. Lift the kneecaps. Rise up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk the feet up towards the top of the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands up on the shins. Exhale, lower. Slight bend in the knees, roll all the way up to stand, arms up overhead, hands to heart center, Surya Namaskara A, arms up overhead, forward fold, Uttanasana, inhale, halfway lift, any variation Vinyasa, lower Chaturanga, inhale, upward facing, open up through the shoulders, root down through the tops of the feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise on the toes, bend the knees, walk or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, Tadasana, arms face forward. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hop or walk, plank or chaturanga, lower. You lower, shoulder, elbow to wrist should be a 90-degree angle. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, rise on the toes. Bend the knees, look forward, hop or walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Drop the hips, Utkatasana, Surya Namaskara B. Arms along the ears, opening up through the chest. Lower a bit more with your exhale. Inhale, rise, slight back bend if you want it. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left leg to the back of the mat. Drop the knee, low lunge. Hands can start to walk up the thigh. Really keeping the hip points pointing forward, open up through the chest without compromising the lower back in any way. I'm big on this because sometimes in this practice we really forget about our lower back and we shouldn't be feeling any pain. Hands back to the mat. Bring your hips back for half split, really opening up through the chest, lowering with your belly and chest last. You can put blocks underneath the hand, curl the toes towards the face, keeping your hips over that back knee. Rebend the front knee, plant the hands, bring your right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, straighten your leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Really curl in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant the foot between the feet. Inhale, rise. Crescent lunge. Arms can rise up along the ears. I like to keep a slight bend in the back knee so both hip points are pointing forward, and I'm really big on not compromising my lower back. So feel free to straighten the leg and play with that, just as long as it's not causing any discomfort. Hands to hip, lower the chest halfway down, long line from that back heel to the crown of the head. Gently place the hands on the mat. Keep your chest there. Inhale your right leg extended back for a three-legged plank. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, three-legged plank. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knee to elbow. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant the foot between the palms. Bring your left leg to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your right leg to the back of the mat. Drop the back knee. Low lunge. Inhale, start to walk the hands on the upper thigh. And really, you push down on your upper thigh, feel a nice opening in your upper chest. Again, we're not compromising the lower back in any way, so we're encouraging the tailbone to point slightly down. It's just a thoracic opening through the chest. Settle in. Plant your hands on the mat, bump your hips back, straighten that front leg. Half split, open up through the chest. Bump that left hip back. It tends to kind of scooch a little forward. And settle in. Rebend that front knee. Plant the hands. Bring your left leg into the air for a three-legged plank. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend. One more time, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left leg rises to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Curl in. Inhale, extend. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Hips squared. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant the foot. Rise, crescent lunge. Keeping like a string, extending your back heel. Rise onto your back toes. Front knee is over the front ankle. Arms can be along the ears. Opening up through the chest, soften the shoulders. Hands to the hips. Lower the chest, 45-degree angle. Really feel that length from the back heel to the crown of the head. Stay for a breath. Exhale, plant the hands on the mat. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left leg extends up into the air. Exhale, bring your foot between the palms. Bring your right leg to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Utkatasana, drop the hips, bend the knees. Open up through the chest, soften through the shoulders. Lift the toes up. Softly lower. Inhale, arms up overhead, slight back bend, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, feet to the back of the mat. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant the foot. rise, crescent lunge. Hands can stay on the hips. Bump your back foot in about an inch or two so that we're really finding that we have the same stance in our upper spine as we had in Tadasana at the beginning of class, with a nice bend in the back knee. Start to lower the back knee towards the ground, but not touching, to the count of lower. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, rise. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, lower. 2, 3, 4. Rise. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Lower. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, rise. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, lower. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, rise. 2, 3, 4. Stay here in crescent lunge. Straighten that front leg. Rebend that front knee. I know it burns. We're going to lean the chest forward. Warrior 3. Lift the back leg up. Lower the toes towards the earth. Square the hips. Hands can stay on the hips. Gaze can be somewhere at the front of the mat so you find length in the back of the neck. Straighten your standing leg if you can. You can also have a soft bend in the knee and the standing leg as well. Stay and breathe. Soft bend in your standing knee. Bring your left knee towards your chest. Guide your left ankle to the top of your right knee. And you can stay here, extending your left leg out, or start to lower your hips in this one-legged Utkatasana in a figure 4 pose with your legs. Finding length in the spine, opening up through the chest. Inhale, rise, bring your knee back into your chest. Exhale, warrior 3, extend your left leg back towards the back of the mat for a moment, and then land in warrior 2. So back toes are pointing towards the top left corner of the mat or parallel to the back of the mat. Arms are at a T. You're opening up your chest towards the side of the room. Gaze can be over the fingertips. Front knee is over your front ankle. Stay here and breathe. Flip the palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Open your right chest towards the front of the room. Stay here and find length. Keeping that front knee bent. Inhale, warrior 2. Modified side angle, right elbow to right knee. Left hand on your hip. Really open up through the chest. Find length in both side bodies, so maybe you lift a little bit out of the pose so you can find a nice long line of energy. Inhale, warrior 2, cartwheel your hands to the mat, bump your right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to left elbow for fallen star pose. So extend your left leg out, maybe even lift it into the air a little bit. Arm can be anywhere, up in the sky, on your hip, near your ear, extending straight ahead. Plant your hand back down, extend your leg, 3-legged dog. Plank, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva mukha, svanasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant your foot between the palms. Inhale, crescent lunge. You can walk your hands to your hips. Slight bend in the back knee. In fact, bump your foot just a little forward so you can find length from the crown of the head through to the sacrum. Keeping your knees bent through this, we're going to lower to the count of 4, bringing that knee to the ground. And as you rise up, we're going to keep that front knee still bent. Lower, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, rise. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, lower. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, rise. Keep the bend in the knee. 3, 4. Exhale, lower. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, rise. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, lower. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, rise. 2, 3, 4. Stay here, straighten the front leg. Rebend that front knee. Start to lower your chest. And then put the weight in your standing leg, warrior 3. Rise with your right leg extended behind you, toes pointing toward the ground. Hips stay squared with each other. Open up through the chest, lift up through the chest even. Or parallel to the ground, but not lower. Soft bend in the standing knee. Bring your right knee to your chest. Bring your right ankle right above your left knee, not on your knee. And you can keep your right knee extended out to feel a nice stretch, or you can start to lower your hips like we did in Utkatasana, keeping your ankle over the edge of your thigh. Hands can stay on the hips. Bring your bottom back a little bit. Lean back into the heel a bit. Open up through the chest. Slowly rise, bring your knee into your chest. Exhale, transition through warrior 3. Land the foot at the back of the mat. Warrior 2, right toes towards the top right corner of the mat, or your feet can be parallel, your back foot can be parallel to the back of the mat. Open up your chest to the side of your room or the wall or outdoors towards the right. Gaze over the fingertips. Front knee is over the front ankle. Lower the sacrum a bit so that you're really kind of engaging and cinching in the inner ribs towards each other. Flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Inhale, open up through the left chest towards the front of the room. Keep a bend in that front knee. Inhale, warrior 2. Left elbow to left thigh, extended side angle pose. Right hand to your right hip. Find a little lift in this pose so that you can again find length in both side bodies on this side as well. Really root down through that back foot. Warrior 2, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Bring your left leg up, three-legged dog. Extend. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Fallen triangle on your other side. So you can keep your left leg extended and in the air or planted on the ground. Your right arm can stay on your hip or extend up into the air. Plant your hand back down. Extend your left leg to the sky for three-legged dog. Make your puppy comfortable because they're using the mat, and I need that space. Lower your leg back to the mat for downward facing dog. Inhale, roll to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, rise on your toes, bend the knees, look forward, hop or walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Drop the hips, Utkatasana, bend the knees. Lean a little bit further back into the heels. Gently lower a bit deeper. Inhale, bring the hands to heart center, and then exhale, twist to the right, bringing your left elbow to your left thigh, guiding your palms towards your chest, really opening up to the side of the room. Lower the hips down. Stay for a breath. Inhale, really breathe into the pose, and then as you exhale, find a little bit more length. Inhale, unwind Utkatasana, keep your hips dropped. Hands to heart center, deep, deep inhale. As you exhale, twist over to the left, putting your right elbow on your left knee. Guiding those hands towards your heart center, really opening up through the chest. Lower the hips. Back to center, and then rise. Inhale, arms up overhead, hands back to heart center, Anjali Mudra to Tadasana. Palms facing forward. Really soften the shoulders, drop them down. Hands to your hips, shift the weight into your right leg, lift your knee into your chest. We're going to string some things together. So figure 4 legs, drop your sits bones down towards the ground, hand to heart center, deep inhale, and then exhale, twist to the right. So plant your left elbow onto the sole of your foot, and then really open up, kind of leverage the pressure that you're putting your elbow against the sole of your inner foot to really push open to the side of the room. Lower the hips. Inhale, rise, knee to chest. Gently lower your left leg. Shift your weight into your left leg. Bring your right knee into your chest. Then cross your ankle over your knee for figure 4 legs. Hands can stay on the hips. Lower the hips towards the ground. Bend your standing leg. Chest can lean slightly forward. Find length. Now hands to Anjali Mudra. And then exhale, twist over to the left. And if you lose your balance, no worries, come back in. I know this is tough. You can always use a wall, shake out a leg. And again, finding that same target of moving the hands towards your sacrum or towards your sternum, so that you can really open up through the chest as you open up to the side of the room. Bring your knee back to your chest to center, and then gently lower your foot. Inhale the arms up overhead, slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga, lower. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, rise on your toes, bend the knees, look forward, and hop through to your seat. Lower your back down, keeping your knees bent. You can start to bring them in towards your chest. Bring your knees over your hips, keeping shins parallel to the ground. We're going to be doing dead bug here. So with your arms extended straight to the sky, stacking your wrists over your elbows, over your shoulders, we're going to extend the right arm back as we extend the left leg forward. Exhale back to center. Now the opposite side. Extend your left arm back, right leg down. Exhale to center. Now repeat. Extend, bring it back to center. Inhale, extend. Exhale to center. Inhale, extend. Exhale back to center. Inhale, extend, keeping the small of your back planted on the ground. Inhale, opposite side. Exhale back to center. Inhale, extend. Exhale back to center. One more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale to center. Your knees in towards your chest. You can roll side to side. And then clasp the hands behind the thighs as you start to roll forward. And maybe you get enough momentum to get straight into Chaturanga, or you can just go right into downward facing dog. But if you're flowing, find your way to Chaturanga. Lower through carefully, keeping your elbows at a 40-degree angle. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Open through the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Start to walk your hands towards the back of the mat, keeping your back feet about hips width apart. And then you can sway from side to side, maybe opposite hands to opposite elbows. Or you can use peace sign fingers and clasp your big toes. And you can inhale to a flat back and then exhale, forward fold, tailbone to the sky, soft bend in the knee in order to achieve that if you need it. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your feet back together and walk your hands to the top of the mat. Plank pose. Shift the weight into your right hand. Side plank, roll onto the outside edge of your right foot, and your left leg can stack right on top or right on front for balance. If you want, lift your left leg to the sky, extend your left arm along your ear and bend the knee, and then crunch elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, lift through the hips. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. One more time, crunch. Inhale, extend, plant the left hand back on the mat. Inhale, right leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, hand between the palms, warrior two. Open up. Settle into this pose, gaze over the fingertips. Engage your core by cinching your ribs in towards each other. Flip your palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Open up through your right chest. And then plant the elbow on your upper thigh, left hand on your left hip, and then you can extend your right arm forward as an offering. Keep that bend in your front leg. I know it burns. Really root down through that back leg to keep you nice and stable through this pose. There should be no pain in your lower back. That means you need to bump your chest up a bit. Stay in tune with the breath. Warrior two, shift your shoulders back over your hips and then flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Straighten your front leg and then inhale, extend your right arm forward. You can bump in your back leg as you shift forward for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Keeping your hips stacked in a nice kind of vertical line. You want to feel a nice stretch in the left side body, but not at the expense of crunching your right side body. And then that left arm can extend up overhead. You're really kind of pushing your chest back over parallel to your front leg. You can have a slight bend in that front knee as well. I find that to be a little bit more comfortable. And really root down through that back leg to feel a stretch through both side bodies. Inhale, warrior two, rebend that front knee, maybe bump the back foot a bit, and then cartwheel your hands back down to the mat. Bump your back foot in a few inches and straighten your front leg, pyramid pose. Bring your right hip back a bit, and you can stay here in pyramid or prepare for Parivrtta Trikonasana, revolved triangle pose. So put your left hand on a block or a book, get creative here, and then you can start to open up the chest towards the right side of the room. You can extend your arm up or keep it on your right hip, up to you. And slight bend in that front knee I find is really helpful during this pose as well. Still keeping that right hip tucked a little back, likes to inch forward. Back to center, pyramid pose. Inhale your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Keeping your shoulders square, you can bend the knee and open the hip. Straighten your right leg, square the hips, and then exhale, knee to nose, plant the foot between the palms. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge. Keeping a soft bend in the back knee. You can keep your arms up along the ears, your chest as you prepare to glide into warrior three. Putting the weight into your right standing leg. If you're keeping your arms up overhead, really open up through the chest and lift up. Bring the left knee in towards the chest. Cross your legs, figure four legs. Inhale your hands to your chest and then twist to the right, putting your left elbow onto the sole of your left foot. and find something to focus on, keeping your gaze steady. Lower the hips and stay with it. Carefully unravel back to center. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. Soft knee bend in the standing knee as you shift to warrior 3. Extend your left leg behind you, opening up through the chest. Crescent lunge, softly land your left foot at the back of the mat. Bump your back foot in just a touch. So we've got that same pose as before when we were lowering, and now we're just gently going to lower the back knee towards the ground, just a few inches above. Arms can extend up along the ears. Really open up through the chest and find length in both side bodies, keeping a bend in that front knee. I know it burns. You got this, and it's just temporary. We're only staying here for a few breaths. Bring your hands back down to the mat, and you can bump your back leg back a bit if you need to. Three-legged dog, lift your right leg up to the sky, keeping your shoulders squared. Open up through the hips as you bend your right knee. If you want to flip, feel free to flip here. Stay for a few breaths. Dog flippers come back. Extend your right leg to the sky. Option to Vinyasa, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank, lower chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your hands to the back of the mat. Feet hips width apart. And you can either have peace sign fingers around the big toe or Padahastasana. You can put the hands underneath the feet and the toes can massage your wrists. You can wiggle your toes about. Slight bend in the knees so you can shoot your tailbone towards the sky. Again, we don't want to compromise that lower back in any way, and we want to find a lot of length through our spine in this pose. Inhale, bring your feet back to touch. Walk your hands forward. Roll to plank and shifting your weight into the left arm side plank on the other side. So on the outside edge of your left foot, you're going to extend your right leg to the sky if you choose. Arm extends forward, and you can play with crunching and bringing your right elbow to your right knee. Exhale. Inhale, extend leg and arm. Exhale, crunch, bring your elbow to your knee, lifting through your lower hip so that you can find length. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Bring your right hand back to the mat. Downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant your foot. Inhale, rise, warrior 2. On the other side now. Opening up your chest to the side of your room, wherever you are. Creating this space for yourself. Keeping a nice bend, knee over your ankle in the front. Gaze over the fingertips. Cinch in the ribs towards each other so that you're finding length and also dropping your tailbone slightly. Flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Inhale, open up your left chest, shoulder. Exhale, elbow to left thigh. Right hand on your right hip. You can also extend the left arm out as an offering. Really ground through that back foot, keeping a nice bend in the front knee as well. Finding length in both side bodies. Your front knee bent, warrior 2. Flip your palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. Now straighten the leg. Prepare for Trikonasana. Bump your back foot in a bit, and then start to extend your front fingers forward as you hinge from your hips, and then bring that right hip above your left hip as much as possible, pushing your chest back so it's over that front leg, slight bend in the front knee. The arm can extend up as you open your chest towards the side of the room. Finding length in both side bodies here, so almost shifting kind of your lower ribs down a bit. The ribs facing the ground, kind of shifting them forward and down. Rebend your front knee, bump your back foot back a little bit. Warrior 2. Cartwheel your hands back down to the mat. Straighten your front leg, pyramid pose. Bump your left hip back so it's parallel with the other hip, kind of squaring your hips. And if you want to play with Parivrtta Trikonasana on this side, you can use a block and start to open up your chest toward the left side of the room. I like to keep a slight bend in the knee as well, kind of easing the pressure off the hamstring here a bit. I also sometimes like to play with putting a block or a book, something on the small of my back. It should be parallel to the ground. So if you place a block there, it shouldn't be slipping because you're easing your left hip back a bit, creating that stability. Gently untwist back to pyramid pose. Bump your back foot back a bit and extend your left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. You can open up the hips, keeping your shoulders square, a bend in that extended leg. Straighten the hips, extend the leg, exhale knee to nose, plant your foot, rise crescent lunge. Arms can stay up overhead like before as you transition to warrior 3, or hands to hips. Shift your weight into your standing left leg. Stay here, lifting up through the chest a bit if it's starting to dip down. Exhale, slight bend in your standing leg. Bring your knee into your chest, hands to heart center. Cross figure 4 legs, and then lower your hips, kind of in an Utkatasana pose, and then twist to the left. Find a gazing point and focus. If you fall out, come back in. Inhale back to center, bring the knee in towards your chest, and then exhale, extend warrior 3, lower your back foot to the back of the mat, crescent lunge. We're going to do a narrow crescent lunge, so bump your back foot in a bit, keeping your hip points pointing forward. We're going to lower our back knee and staying here for a few breaths. So really find steadiness in the breath. I know it burns. We're only here for 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten both of your legs. Rebend your front knee. Plant your hands on the mat. Extend your left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. If you want, open up your hips. Bend your flying leg, and if you want to flip your dog, go on ahead. If you're staying in a three-legged dog, just keep your shoulders square to the mat. Dog flippers come back. Inhale, extend your left leg towards the sky. Square your hips. Downward facing dog, stay here, or option to flow through a vinyasa. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, start to rise on the toes. Bend the knees, look forward, hop to yogi squat, feet on the outside edges of the mat. Toes following the direction of the knees, so kind of at a 45-degree angle out. You can always put a block underneath the hips to feel a little bit more comfort and ease in this pose. Elbows are on the inside of the thighs as you guide your hands to heart center, really opening up through the chest. You can stay here or inhale your arms up above your head. And we're going to start to slowly rise to stand. All the way up slowly. And then exhale, lower back to yogi squat, keeping your arms wherever is comfortable. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower to squat. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, lower down to a squat. Send the arms in front of you as you start to lower onto your sits bones and roll onto your back, knees into your chest. Gently plant your feet like bridge pose. And sometimes if you reach your hands toward your heels, maybe you can feel them, maybe you don't. It's not a big deal either way, but we want our feet to be in line with our hips and our knees pointing towards the sky. We're going to start to prepare for 2 back bends. So this first one we'll be doing bridge pose. So inhale, lift the hips. Find a lift through the chest and the hips as you squeeze your knees in towards each other, finding equal weight in your feet as well, equal pressure in your feet. Arms can be underneath your body, interlaced or alongside your body on the mat. Gently lower back down. And then we're gonna either do another bridge pose, or you can prepare for chakrasana or wheel pose. So you can put the hands near your ears and then lift up to bridge pose. Again, those same actions, you're squeezing the knees in towards each other, really opening up through the chest, drop the head, and then stay here for a breath or two. And if you need to lower, lowering first through the upper spine as you gradually lower to your sacrum, back to the mat. And then feet wide, knees can kiss, finding a little relief in your lower back. That was a lot of work we did just then. Stay here for as long as you need, or if you're ready, we're just going to wrap up class, bringing our knees in towards our chest for a spinal twist. So you can shift your hips over to the right as you lean your legs over to the left. I like to open up my arms to a T, really easing my shoulders down to the ground. If your legs lift up, you can always stick a block or a blanket, something underneath your knees so that your shoulders can just relax on the ground. We don't want to overdo things here. We just want to relax gently into this pose. Slowly bring yourself back to center. If you need to shift your hips a bit to the left as you lean over to the right, extending your arms out to a T. Maybe you need a block on this side. Done a lot of work today in this class, and so we just want to let our bodies find ease as we start to slowly transition into our final resting pose. Gently come back to center, knees to chest. And if you want happy baby or fish pose, whatever finishing posture, maybe a block under the hips as you extend your legs up towards the sky, flexing your feet. Whatever is comfortable here for you as you start to slowly make your way to that final resting pose, sava, where we get the chance to incorporate all the movement and work and effort. And then we get to just slowly let our body do what it naturally does. Our body knows how to breathe, so we just let it do what it does. So palms face up towards the sky, towards the ceiling, letting your toes relax, pointing outwards, and just ease into sava, sweet, sweet sava. softly, deeply start to call the breath back to an inhale. And then exhale, sigh out through the mouth. Start to wiggle the toes, the fingertips. Maybe you start to roll your wrists and your ankles. Slowly start to bring in the knees towards your chest, rolling from side to side. And then roll to your favorite side as you start to push yourself back to a sitting pose. Hands to heart center, slight bow of the head. I'm so grateful to be able to share this time and space with you. Your interest allows me to share these moments with you. I hope that you were able to create the space that you need to find comfort and ease today, in days to come. So thank you, friends. I love you all. Namaste.